when I recorded all this, it was Sunday night. So hopefully by the time that it is up, it is Monday and not Tuesday because I'm trying to get this out by Monday. So, yes, okay, that's all. As time of recording this, it is currently like 11:50 because it's like 11:48. But so all the POVs I've watched, you cannot see my hand. Hold on, can I? No, okay. I gotta zoom in so you can actually see anything. Okay. So I watched Scott. Scott's the first one I watched, even though Owen came out first. I was like, I gotta wait. I did watch a snippet of his to be like, what's even happening? So I watched Scott, then I watched Owen, then I watched Pyro, then I watched Abolish. I think that was the only one, because I haven't seen Pose yet. I want to see Pose, but I haven't seen Pose yet. Oh, I didn't watch Appo. I want to watch Appo. I can't see my finger. Okay, there we go. Appo. I want to watch Appo. So let me just talk about my thoughts. First and foremost, I was not expecting that ending. Because I've told all of you what I want to happen. The massacre, the Scott massacre, I'm gonna kill all of them for you. He doesn't. Okay, huge spoilers. If you haven't seen them, you haven't seen the episode 8 of any of those, he changes. Like, actually changes. And what's crazy is, like, my entire thought going through the episode, because episodes 1 through 7, he's cheerful, he's normal Scott, he's, like, oh, haha, funny, like, hi, this is the first time you made a joke in the entire season, haha, funny. The entire episode was okay. His demeanor was always like, ah ha ha ha, you funny, ah ha ha ha. It wasn't like that. It wasn't, cause oh my god, he was so doom and gloom the entire episode, and you can tell if you pay attention to his demeanor. My only thought was, oh, for sure that this is like the last episode, not only because it is the final, but because like there's no way Scott would change like that unless it's the final episode. I love that part. That part was my favorite. His outro also not having any music made me laugh because like episodes 1 through 7 had the dancing through the sphere. It's who we are. Like, I love that because like whenever I go to TikTok, it's always like Scott intro, no Scott outro, be like, and it's like that's just like the funniest part to me. Anyways, the fact that him and Shelby stay roommates too, like, oh my god, because they started out as roommates and then they finished as roommates. You cannot see my hand. Hold on, my hand here. They started out as roommates and then they finished as roommates. Also, I don't know when, cause I wanted to mention this, but like we ended in 2006, right? Because they say 2006, she writes Vampire Diaries, finished her book writing Vampire Diaries. Does that mean, because like, of course if you do the math, I'm just terrible math because I don't know when Twilight came out, but like, maximum maybe 15 years? Because I don't think it's been too long. Also, this actually kind of bumps into my other theory, abolish. Hold on, there's my finger. It is so dark in my room right now. Hold on, give me 1 second. Okay, so I'm just gonna write this for the rest of it because it's easier. But anyways, so first of all, I looked up because when I went to turn on the light, I looked up Twilight and then Vampire Diaries. Twilight came out 2008. My boyfriend, lovely. Anyways, I guess the movie. adaptation. I didn't look any further. So I was like 2008, cool, and I got excited because, anyways, so so yeah, like the time skip. I want to say is at least 15 to so years, but then that seems way too long because like her book didn't come out. Because like, why would it take her so long to write the book? So that's so like, if anyone wants to speculate with me on the timeline, because I do kind of want to figure that out, because we jump skipped to 2006, and before that, I've always thought that vampires took place in like 1950s, maybe 1960s, like the 1900s. So if it took place during the 1900s, at least within the 1950s, because of like how everything seems, carriage lagged, nothing like electronic is really talked about. Everything is like, oh, let's go on trains. Oh, I gotta show you, Scott, you gotta see the trains. We gotta show you trains. I mean, they talked about studio apartments, so I guess it would make sense. But like, okay, we're just gonna put it in like early 2000s for simple sakes. But that does not actually get into what I actually wanted to talk about. So I do actually want to talk about abolish and like my theory for, you know, abolish. So first of all, hold on, wait 1 second. First of all, his ending, so funny to me. When he was like, okay, I can finally go home. When he made the grave for his parents, that was so sweet. So sweet. Anyways, his ending was like, my God, I finally got away from those hooligans, from those lunatics. That made me laugh. Because abolish, he's funny. I'm starting to really like abolish. I should watch some of this content, because a lot of these content creators I did not know existed. The only ones I really knew about were Shovel, Scott. I think those were the only two, honestly. The 14, I think I only knew 2. Who else is there? I've heard about Owen, because I've watched some of his stuff. He was, you know, in some other stuff as well. So I've heard about Owen. I think this is my first time seeing, like, there's 14, I think 3. I can't do math, I'm gay. Anyways, hold on, 11. I could do math. Anyways, this is my first time seeing, I think, at least 11 of these content creators, because I got introduced to Avid and I fell in love with him. Oh my God, I love this character so much. Apple Kuna, yes. I'm getting off track. This is why I can't make content. What was I talking about? Abolish's perspective. I'm gonna get into that. I'm so sorry. Anyways, abolish. The end of his episode, because like it leans into Scott and Shelby's end of episode, and like, because like we see it going up, and then he's like looking through the spyglass and he's like, okay, well, nothing has changed since what I, you know, checked up on them last. I should probably go say hi. And then when he's like, I should probably go say hi, they zoom in on his face, and half of his hair, it's gonna be, yeah, this half is his hair. This half of his hair is white. This half is black, like normal. And then I think he has the one red eye. So I've seen him on TikTok, because like I've also speculated as well, because I was like, why is it like that? But I've seen him on TikTok, people being like, he's half vampire, like he didn't fully like that's one of the things of getting the cure, is that you become half vampire, is my theory. Because the other two, because there were three that, again, spoilers, there were 4 humans left. There was Paul, there was Martin, there was Wen, and there was Abolish. Those were the 4 humans left. And so Wen and Martin die. Martin dies, and I got a little confused, and then Apple was like, the body can't hold 2 sides. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. And I was like, wait, when did she give him his blood? And then I remembered that like she gave him his blood in episode 3 when he fell off and everything. Yeah. Oh, excuse me. My apologies. Anyways, just gonna completely ignore that factor. So Martin's dead, and then Ren has a breakdown. It's like, oh my god, you guys lied to me, all you vampires, I'm surrounded by vampires, I'm the only human left. Other than Paul was like, I'm the only human left, oh my god, are you vampires, and like loses it. And so, Abolish is now the only human. Well, no, Paul's the only human left, but like when Abolish gets unturned, he still has the 15 hearts, I think it was 15. I'd have to go back and like double check, and I don't want to do that right now because I'm in the flow of recording. But anyways, 15 or so hearts, and when he gets transformed back to being a human, he still has those hearts, and he even makes speculation of it being like, I probably still have vampire blood in me, but it's probably gonna drain out at some point. And then we cut to, him having the white hair, partly white hair, so that possibly only means that he's part vampire now, because again, he's the only turned vampire and then human vampire, like killed vampire. He's the only killed vampire, because Owen didn't want the kill. Owen was like, this is the first time I get to choose, and my choice is death, because I'm going to be with Lewis, and then doesn't even get to be with Lewis, which is sad, but also reasonable. And then Pyro just dies, because Shelby's like, you killed my fledgling, you killed my friend, I can't believe you, so yeah, because they both die, because Owen and Pyro both die, and it's like, I wanted that so badly, but anyways, train of thought, I swear I lose it all the time. Abolish. I do think he's half vampire now, even though the thing is over, and I don't think we're gonna get a season 2, even a, what is to come next kind of thing. Yeah, I don't think we're gonna be getting a season 2, like, at all. So, unfortunate, but that does mean that we just get to speculate now. And oh my god, if I'm not nothing but a speculation, I might just make my own little story and just seeing where I could go with this, because we get a little bit from everyone. I am really glad with the ending of most of them, because I saw a TikTok with like all the endings, because I've only watched one episode of Cleo's, and that was the first episode. I didn't, because like I said in the beginning, I haven't watched Paul's episode, so I haven't seen her ending, but listen, all of them were so cute. And might I just say, we have Doomed Yowie. Unfortunately, we have Doomed Yowie. But Yowie is winning. Yowie wins. At the end of Scott's episode, Cleo, like, I've kind of like zoned out at the moment by accident, like, because a lot was happening, so I was like, what is happening? So I didn't really zone out. I was just like, I got confused. I was like, what? And then I see, because I was confused why Paul got transformed, but then I had to go back and remember, oh right, because everyone had to be vampires, because when they were going over the plan, this video's gonna be long. When they were going over the plan, Scott, Paul, and Cleo were all like, I will stay. Well, Paul was like, I would be the only one who stays here, because honestly, I only came to Oakhurst to look for a home. I just needed a home, and this can be my home. And Scott also said, I can stay here too, because honestly, I forget exactly what he said, but he was like saying along the lines like, I can stay here too. So I thought it was like one human and one vampire was gonna stay, because they were also like, Paul has to be a human to splash everyone with the, again, this is when I was still like, everyone's gonna become vampires and then untransform, but then I remember that to kill Shelby, to kill Shelby, they would have to kill, they could kill Shelby if she wanted to be killed, because Pyro's dead. They can't kill, Who did Scott taunt that didn't die? Wait, hold on. Because Scott taunted Pyro, and then he taunted... Oh, yeah, his other fledgling that didn't die was Drift. Drift was taunted by him. If I remember correctly, I guess this could be a long video, but if I remember correctly, in order, Scott taunted Pyro, and Pyro taunted Shelby. Then the next person to taunt was Appo, and Appo was taunted by Scott. That's who it was. So like all the vampires that were taunted by Scott didn't taunt back because Scott didn't taunt back, because they did, because like you would have to kill Scott, because you know his sire is long gone or just doesn't exist. It's like just like out there somewhere, just a fucking build. I've gone on to rambles. Listen, all I gotta say, we're gonna completely disregard everything I just said, except for the fact that Vampires SMP ended differently than what I wanted. But I'm still happy. It just ended differently. Sorry if you can hear my PlayStation. It's loud. Sorry about that. Anyways, it didn't end with the Scott massacre like I wanted, or with just Shelby being the... Well, I guess Shelby and Drift, because I guess like Drift didn't really do anything. I don't know how it was. But Pyro and Owen dying was very much needed, not just because everyone kind of wanted them dead, but in Owen's episode, I made a community post about this too, being like, Owen was going to post his premiere at 11, and I wasn't gonna watch it. I was gonna wait until 12 for Scott to post it. I was gonna watch Owen's. Anyways, I don't know why I mentioned that. Anyways, I can't be making videos on my own. Anyways, in Owen's POV, at the not very end, but at the end, he's like, I'm so tired. He's like, I'm tired of lying. I'm tired of the coven. I'm tired of pretending that everything was a family. I'm tired. I just want to see Lewis. And like, this was after he had his conversation with Abolish, and after Abolish tells him about the Shadow Organization and the good vampires and the bad vampires, and how, you know, they work side by side, and it's a shadow organization, so that's why he hasn't been doing anything or saying anything and working in the shadows. And it's like, again, I fucking love Abolish. But anyways, and so Owen dying was needed because Owen didn't want to be here, and he wanted to be with Lewis, and I'll make a whole different video about my thoughts on him and Lewis, because that's part of the Doom Diary. Oh my god. But anyways, Pyro was more of needed to die because Shelby was not gonna be able to move on if he was alive. Like, not that she wanted to turn back, but like she just wouldn't be able to move on with her life. Because not Pyro, but Avid was her friend. Even if they only knew each other for about a month, story-wise, for about like a month or two, Avid had become her friend. And she started to really like Avid. Avid was her friend. So, when Pyro killed him for the only reason of he was a loose cannon, again, sorry, that's really aggravated me. For no other reason, but like, I freaking hated when he said that. Anyways, killing Avid because he was a loose cannon and whatever, and freaking, yeah. I need to get my thoughts together. Shelby was not gonna go cave, he lived. if they all got out of this and he was still alive. I mean, he should not have lived either way. Because when Scott left, he was a changed man. Like, literally a changed man. Like, not killed, but like, he went from being like literally no feelings, and it's kind of like a joke now. It's like literally no feelings to slowly starting to understand. Because again, he's been around for 1,200, 1,400 years, and when you're around for that long, you forget, like, just life, just the basic aspects of humanity. Especially if you're, like, not just immortal, but, like, you just feed off of humans. You forget how to be human. You forget that you ever were human. Like, not, like, obviously not, because you know that you were torn at one point, but, like, the aspects of humanity has left you at some point. Especially if you're, like, Scott, and you were a witch noble and everything. But, like, Scott changed, and it was something I wasn't expecting, but was so happy for, because I thought he was for real just gonna go and be like, everyone needs to die, everyone's dead. But no, and that, I think, was the best way to end his character, was to have him realize it's been 600 years since you were last awake. Not only has the world changed, but so has you. Because you weren't alive, because you weren't doing anything. So you need to relearn how to be either vampire or human. And he learned how to be human after he learned how to be a vampire again, but like, he learned to be human and how to feel. And it was Avid who taught him that. It was Avid who taught him how to feel, even if he didn't know he did. I could talk about vampires all day. As you can see, this video is probably long as heck right now. I'm gonna have to cut some of this. Oh my god, I don't even know how long the video is. Dude, I could talk about vampires all day. I'm gonna go to school tomorrow and I'm not gonna shut up. Holy shit. And it's like 12 now. So I'm gonna wake up tomorrow with like no sleep, because I'm not gonna be able to go to sleep tonight with no sleep, and just oh, you guys, I don't know what I'm gonna do on Sunday next week. I don't know what I'm gonna do next week. There's gonna be no Vampires episode, unfortunately. I thought we were, like, even though I knew we were gonna get like 10 weeks and it was gonna go, like, I was kind of upset that we only got 8. Well, I guess we did get the 10 weeks, because we got the intermission one, where it was like supposed to be between episode 6 and 7. Between episode 6 and 7, and I thought it was gonna be 10, so I thought it was gonna be like episode, between episode 5 and 6. Yeah, 5 and 6. Between episode 5 and 6. And 6 became the beach episode, and that was the funniest thing. And then I thought we were gonna have 6, 7, 8, 9. I can't count. I always forget the thumb. I realized this the other day. I always forget the thumb when I count. So I was like 1, 2, 3. Go ahead. I always forget the thumb. Anyways, that was, yeah. Like, I thought it was gonna be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like, week after week after week. But then the servers shut down. English. Freaking tongue, I swear. But then the game shut down. But then the game shut down, and they weren't able, and they didn't want to rush the, having rushing everyone to do it and then posting it that Sunday. So they just skipped that Sunday and then went to the next Sunday. So between episode 6 and 7, we got another intermission. So if you really think about it, we might have gotten at least, I think we might have gotten 10 weeks, because we got the first one, the second one, the third one, the fourth one, the fifth one. Then we have the intermission week. Then we have 6. Then we had the intermission week. Then we had 7. Then we had 8. Did I count the thumb again? Hold on. I don't think I counted the thumb. So yeah, we might have only had 9 because I think I forgot to count the thumb. So I was, hold on. We saw the thumb, so I'm gonna make sure I saw the thumb. So we start with the pointer. Let's pick the thumb. So we had 1, we had 2, we had 3, we had 4, we had 5. All in a row. Then we had intermission week. Then we had 6. Then we had intermission week. Then we had 7. Then we had 8. So yeah, we had 10 weeks. They were just unexpected, you know. Well, the first one was unexpected because they had VidCon, but there was like an unexpected delay for the second in between 6 and 7. So, I'm gonna end the video because it is way too long now, and I realize that I've just been rambling. I swear to God, I need someone else in the room with me before, like, when I start doing this, so I have someone to cut me off before I realize, oh, it's been 10 minutes and I've been saying absolutely nothing. Anyways, thank you for listening to me ramble. We'll probably have an update on Vampires. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to just the entire story of one person and then post the video of that to Melissa shut me up. Alright, thank you all for watching, for listening.